for a lively discussion of freedom and America. Kirk revving them up.
That's a lot of people, you tell me what.
Kirk then sitting on the stool, talking to the crowd, and just as he was answering a question about mass shootings in America, a single shot rang out.
You know how many mass shootings there have been in America over the last 10 years? Counting or not counting gang violence? Great.
Kirk.
Isn't that sad? Now, it's only sad so far, right? And then it's not sad because you can have a conversation about, well, I guess it was coming, right? And we get educated so we don't do these moves where you don't wear your seatbelt. Eventually you're going to crash, high probability, right? And you're going to hurt yourself more or go flying out the window and kill yourself or others because you weren't wearing the seatbelt. And people say, well, I guess it deserves him right. That's how you get fined and stuff for not wearing a seatbelt. True? Right? Just some little ways to get what I'm about to say. So when it comes to that, that is the devil. The devil just come in, devil minion, ranking or whatever, right? Just did its move. And they do move. They'll wait. They're patient as they're patient for an ego experience. And they'll build it up. They promote it as you do out there, as the devil does best, promoting propaganda. Right? And it gets its group and it likes bigger ego, bigger group to see if it can, right? And it'll get people to say certain questions. So that person, if I'm right, it involves a detective in that, well, I'll check. That person that did that question is linked, if you change from that person, if they can speak and find out, if they don't get killed or whatever, right, would be linked to the ego person, right? Made that happen. Made that question happen, so his other person is linked to him, shot him, right, and all this shit. And in the ego world, you got to find out who benefits the ego, who's the ego like the most, and all these things, right? Gives you answers, right? And so that guy, he could have been religious. Some people do stupid shit because they go, God is on my side. I can do whatever I want now, right, because God's on my side. Well, that's not true. There's history, millions of people over time have done that and it's failed, right? Because where was God, right? We talk about that, and we talk about experiments, we talk about why we're here. We've got messages from them to help us, guide us along, as you would if an alien wanted to contact us. They'll contact us through mind control and all these kind of things if they needed to your thoughts. And so what happened there? Even went to the worstest spot. Like if I rocked up to that spot, right, and I had enemies, or I could have enemies because I'm pissing them off, right? I wouldn't want to go, and they can shoot you at any time, but they want to get the high ego most of the time, right? Until you can take that away from them by being more secure and wise on what the things you do, and then they go, shit, we're just going to have to get him where we get him, and we can't get this big ego thing. But if they can, they will do, and don't allow them to get such big ego things and have someone give you a question and be able to get you to take it out and all that. It's sad, but that's how the devil works. If the more higher, or if it's the devil himself, the more like it's going to do it. It's just, we've got all the knowledge, and then you're stupid not to use the good knowledge and let the bad knowledge, which is just letting things go and be like a baby and hope everyone just does it. That's bad knowledge, really, isn't it? Right? You're going to lose because you're having the bad apple. God will go, well, I guess if you're not learning, right? Because people say there's always a high, but then could be right. This goes on and on and on. You're never really going to think how they think. But we're here. You can get some key points to show you the keys, like freedom. You like them, right? Image of them, right? And things like that. You've got to get the right points. And then the other ones are just guidelines in other areas that can help out and so on. But if you get them all mixed, then you're going to really get problems. And so when it comes to where he was, he shouldn't have been there, right? If you wanted to do what he did, I'll give you a recommendation what I would have done. If I was going to go out, have to be with the people as the devil tries to make you say that that's the way you need to do it, but not true, right? To connect with the people, there's lots of ways to do it. Like one way, he could have went more out in the open, more of a place with a wall around him, and that's it, and that wall's protected so you can't get to the other people and the people can come in. There's lots of areas you can have and choose, and you don't let other people go, no, you should be this and that. You do safety first. It's like getting a job done and materials right? You do it in that sector. Why don't you do it in this sector? You see how you have proper areas where you show you're getting it right, but then you're not doing the same thing in the other area where you should, right? And so in the end, the devil, as I talked about with the devil's rules, he'll go, ha ha, and he'll even say to his friends and that, whatever he got to say was nothing. He's gone now. He couldn't do it. In fact, he just made me look good. He failed that bad. I was his past. Things like that, right? And in a way, it could be true, it could be wrong, right? I talk about how bad guys are right all the time, but don't mean they're right, right? They might be right in one little key of a word, but don't mean they're right all the time, right? So you can agree with what's right. That's what I do in certain areas. And so that guy could have done that choice. He could have also tried to do things where if you're talking about freedom and you know lots of people want to take it away, that's the worst thing. Like everyone gets shot, right? When you try to really talk about freedom when you know when there isn't any around. And the people who have taken the freedom away are really paid and can manipulate and all these things, you see, right? And so you make sure that that circumstance, when you're talking about freedom, it's that bad, that you don't go out, you're in a bulletproof car, you do this. We do that in bad countries, don't you? Why do they do it? Some of them are Christian and holy in certain ways. Why do they do that and the other one does that? The other one got that one scripture where he goes, God is on your side. Don't worry about it, mate. You only need that one thing. God is on your side, right? You won't go wrong. If that was true, we'd already be fixed. We've had these people before. And then I'll easily just fix it from now on till then, as I talked about. When can they stop? When can we get this? Move on. At least that. We'd have that already. But it's not. Because the truth is, we're all individuals. We're all here. We're meant to connect. We can create heaven on earth. We destroyed things already, but it can come back. Nature comes back quick. You can get the Garden of Eden within 50 years, 100 years. Right? We start doing things right. It can all be back. So much, plenty where you can go back to, you got to do some killing and some people like hunting. There you go. There's button hunt. They're old. They're this, they're that. Hunt. All right. We'll put in nature people like to say things should be nature. We'll chuck in a couple of extras, right? But we'll also chuck in these just in case. We'll let it go nature. They're old, right? There's lots of ways to try to balance it out and get it right and fair by saying, how would you like it? If it was you, just think about it. If it was you in that position, how would you like to go down? All right? And this is the way it's going because, you know, nature, we're putting in this, we've got all these rules, they're banging in this, right? How would you like to go down? And then I'll help you get the answers, definitely if you're already on the righteous path. Huh? But that poor guy got killed, eh? So if I was in politicians, in the job, got the badge, certain areas, now I'm going to go definitely against these people. I'm not a threat now, the bad guy. I can speak all day long. Boom, boom. I can even be magical all by myself. But as long as I'm not a threat, so I'm blocked, right, and other things like that, which this guy wasn't. He had an opportunity to change the world and he fucked it. Right? He fucked the devil one. Boom. Now we've got to wait all this time for another one to get to that position, and they're going to use fear, all these things, right? So it can continue another 20 years sometimes before you get back to there, right? Because of the fear and how the devil works, huh? You just got to do it right, best as you can, and then hopefully, as you would say, God is on your side. Perhaps He is. Perhaps He's giving you the ideas to make sure you're protected, right? What do you do when your kid goes out? You know the world's bad. You give it body armor and this and that. And if you're stuck in that area, you would do that, wouldn't you? Right? You give it advice. At least tell it what to say or do. Why didn't that guy do it? Well, hang on. Or you just tell your kid, it's all right, go out there. I know it's North Korea. You'll be fine. God's on your side. What do you think is going to happen? You do that. You grab these people and their kids, take them to North Korea and go, we want to document your story. And it's sad because we already know the outcome, but why are you saying that? You see what I mean? But now, have a good one out there, people. And what a sad story once again. Good people are dying. But at least we can always make a bad thing a good thing, like when you die and you go, it's okay. And why we have words in the first place is that I guess he's gone to heaven because he ain't got it here yet, right? Or he's at a better place. Energy moves on, another existence, anything that is at least positive. They're more the negative to the scare factor because the scare factor allows things to come in and propaganda to control because of your fear of not knowing and confused. So have a good one out there. Once again. And that is Angel and Stormy. Now Angel is a little turbine sometimes, like to call her, a little devil. But ever since she's had moments, right? But that was just because she was missing out and she didn't know how to get. She's finally got to a point where she's compromised, settled, right? And she's having babies, wants to have babies. Heard a baby now recently, right? And now she believes when she gets fed, if she's seen something, and she's small to Stormy, that she gets fed better and more if she's doing a little squeal. And she does it every time. Every time she's done that, she's gotten a little louder. She start off softly, and now she sounds that loud like a squeaky gate. But anyway, have a good one once again, and see you later.